I just got home and I immediately had to make this video because white romance authors continue to fail the basic fucking challenge of having a backbone. For those who don't know, or perhaps for the people who don't listen to audiobooks like me, Zachary Weber, who is a prominent audiobook narrator, said some things about Zionists which were not only great, but also good and morally justified and necessary. He made like an extremely brief video telling Zionists to kill themselves, and he said that Zionists are ugly and stupid and I think one other thing, all of which totally cool. And then, for whatever reason, white women decided that they had to make that about themselves and about having empathy. Sierra Simone was the first person to post the nonsense. I'll let you pause and read. Or better yet, my rule for discourse is the same I have for romance. It should beget empathy, not diminish it. We can call for change and peace without wishing harm, and we can keep our eyes and hearts open to each other while we work for justice. And then Chloe Lisa decided to share that and post her own story, saying that she's no longer working with Zach Weber. Now, first and foremost, Zach, if you see this, if you end up stumbling upon this, full support, dude. Full fucking support. You have the backbone that these spineless authors don't. Because what are we talking about when we talk about empathy? What are we talking about? Are we talking about empathizing with the most privileged? Are we talking about empathizing with the oppressor? Are we talking about empathizing with the people who are creating systems of harm and violence? Or are we talking about empathizing with the people subject to those systems of harm and violence? Are we talking about the people who are being brutalized as we speak? That's the real kicker of all of this for me. Right now, literally right now, Palestine and Lebanon are being massacred by Zionists. Those massacres are being supported by Zionists, carried out by Zionists, funded and armed by Zionists. And authors like Chloe Lisa and Sierra Simone want to get on here and tell us that we should have empathy, that we should not say these kinds of things about Zionists. You guys are a joke. You would be using that same exact rhetoric, make no mistake. I know you think that you wouldn't be, but you would have been using that exact same rhetoric about Nazis, about slavers, about segregationists. Because when you try to equate the oppressor and the oppressed in any situation, when you try to say that we have empathy for the oppressor and the oppressed in any situation, what you're engaging in is not empathy. What you're engaging in is enablement. You are enabling the oppressors to continue carrying out crimes. And while we're on the topic of empathy, who the fuck made you the arbiters of empathy for Palestinians? Who the fuck made you the arbiters of empathy in a situation in which people across the world who do not look like you are being targeted? Can you explain that to me? Can you explain why you decide what is and isn't empathy in this situation? Because, hate to break it to you, but Zachary Weber displayed far more empathy in 2 silly little videos than you have in a year. If you guys are like, whoa, Lee, and you're coming across as very angry, I fucking am angry. How are we a year into genocide, witnessing Lebanon get devastated, and these white authors still want to get on these fucking apps talking about empathy for Zionists? Go fuck yourself.